How's it going, everybody? And welcome back to our Cisco Enterprise series. In this video, we're going to pick up right where we left off in the previous video, and we're going to dive right into getting 26, 27, 42, and 60 completely online. We're going to start off on XR42, just so we can get those devices connected and going, so you can see what OSPF configuration looks like. We did the same thing with EIGRP over here, but I'm just trying to keep things consistent. So I'm going to go ahead and log in as Rob and Cisco. I'm going to go ahead and get out of the way, go to global config, and we're going to type in router OSPF and then OSPF. And then in this case here, it's going to be the name for the process. We're going to type in OSPF. And then from here, you do basically the same thing. You set the router ID to, in this case here, it's going to be 1.0.0.42. And then we're going to do we're going to set, where is it? Log adjacency changes. And then we're going to say the address family is going to be IPv4 unicast. And then we're going to specify the interfaces. So again, there's no network statement here, right? There's no network. We can say network, but it's going to be specifically the network type, not the actual network subnet. So I'm going to type in interface is going to interface. Why is that not doing what I want it to do? Oh, sorry. Area 0. That's right. I forgot about that. And then we're going to specify interface. Here will be gig 0 to 000. Gig 01, and then loopback 0. And we're going to say show config. So we have address family IPv4 unicast, area 0, interface loopback 0, gig 0000 and 01. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to, actually let me do this. Let me go to root and type in logging con debug just to make sure that it's there. And then I'm going to commit. So the process is available. We set the router ID. Everything looks good there. I am going to come down here and type in debug OSPF. And I'm going to say adjacency. We'll do packet. So we're going to start to see stuff come across. To me, XR has a little bit of a cleaner hello, and this is the packets. So I'm going to go to the other routers. I'll go to 26 and we'll type in router OSPF 1. Router ID is going to be 1.0.0.26. The network here is going to be 1.26.0.0, 0.0.255.255, area 0. So that'll give us more of a broad, and then network of 1.0.0.26, 0.0.0.0, area 0. So 42 just formed an adjacency. We'll go back to that one in just a moment. 27, we're going to go and set the interface gig 0/0, do show run pipe section OSPF. I don't think I've used the, I did for one of them. For the connection between 27 and 60, I'm going to type in IP OSPF 1 area 0. And then on 60, I'll basically do the exact same thing. I'll type in router OSPF 1, network of 1.42.60.0, 0.0.0.255, area 0. So we should start to form an adjacency on that guy momentarily. So we're looking pretty good there. Awesome. So I'll go back over here to 42. We can see communication going back and forth. We receive the hellos. I'm going to go ahead and undebug all there. So I'm going to do a show IP OSPF interfaces, interface, show IP OSPF, show OSPF interface brief. So we're going to see loopback 0, gig 00, and gig 01. We do have a neighbor formed. We have full and complete is 1/1. So we have one full neighbor, one complete neighbor. If I do a show IP OSPF, or show IP OSPF neighbors. Sorry, show OSPF neighbors. If you do, should allow me to do IP. Show IP. Nope. IPv4. Nope, it's not going to let me do that. Show OSPF neighbor. So I'm going to see the neighbors, 60 and 26 respectively, and then show OSPF database and the associated links to go along with them. Now you'll notice on 26, I have a lot more interfaces because on all of these, there's 26 in each one of them. So I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 interfaces that have 26 in them. And if I do a show OSPF database for the router LSA and the advertising router of 126, and you can do this exact same command on iOS and .xr, and you're going to get the complete output of everything. So we're going to have a couple stub networks. 33 right now is considered a stub because it doesn't detect another router. Once it detects another router, same thing with 35. So 33 and 35, there are no connections to other routers currently because the interfaces, they don't detect OSPF, which we shouldn't, theoretically. But transit network 42 and 27, I have a connection to 26 and to 60. So we are good to go there. And 26 detects a transit network here and a transit network here. So we are in good shape there. So that's how the type 1 LSAs work. So I'm going to do a show IP route, and we're going to get some OSPF routes. We see 26, 27, 42, and 60. 42 is local to us. And we see the transit links, 26, 27, 26, 33, so on and so forth. And that's really what you want to have. So at this point in time, we're pretty much done with the XR configuration. 26, we are good to go as well. Show IP OSPF interface brief. We're going to see all 5 interfaces because anything that starts with 26, we're going to see that show up. So 33 and 35 are going to be eventually BGP peerings, but for right now, we will eventually pull them out, and I'll show you guys how to clean that up. So in the event that you run into problems where you've got a scenario like this, where you're kind of using a very, very large network a wildcard mask, so /16, with a network command that's going to encompass interfaces that won't be running the protocol, we can actually use the passive interface command to prevent an accidental forming of adjacency over that link. And I'll show you guys what that looks like later on. But if you want to prevent stuff like that from happening, that's going to be a good thing for you guys to get in the habit of doing. So that is the initial part that I wanted you guys to see. Fairly straightforward video because there's really not a whole lot more to show you in terms of getting everything stood up. So I wanted to keep this what I would consider entry-level CCNA to the point, show you the config, how it works, what to do, that type of stuff. There is one other thing that I wanted to mention to you guys with the interface level config where I do the IP OSPF 1 area 0 command. And that is that when you do that, it'll always enable OSPF on the interface, even if you change the IP address. That doesn't mean there will be an adjacency that forms, but when you go to the interface level and you type in the IP OSPF command at the interface level, it'll always enable OSPF for that particular interface IP address. So you'll be able to send hellos out as that IP regardless of what it is. Now, until you've updated your network or you're consistent on your subnetting to where the router that's attached to that same segment is in the same subnet, then you'll be able to form an adjacency. But it'll always be enabled on the primary IP address. So just be cognizant of that. So with that being said, that is pretty much what I wanted to show you in this video. A little bit shorter, quicker, to the point. So if you guys have any comments, questions, concerns, feedback, drop that sucker in the comment section below. If you haven't already done so, please like, share, and subscribe. and I'll catch all of you fine people in the next video.